Folks, this is the source of the Colorado River, the mighty Colorado that cuts through the Grand Canyon.
Welcome to my channel, where we tour new destinations. This is a casual video of a drive through popular areas of Rocky Mountain National Park in north central Colorado, only 2 hours west of Denver. This video is not like other videos where you sit through a boring series of A to B destinations. We're going to show you real life interactions with nature, rest areas to stop in, memorable destinations for you to get a glimpse of what it's like to visit Rocky Mountain National Park. If you're watching, I assume you're probably wondering, is it worth visiting? Absolutely. Being so close to the city means it's super easy to get to, and you can make this whole outing a day trip, especially if you pick the Trail Ridge Road, main thoroughfare, and see most of the important sites in one day. But of course, being such a popular park, be sure to click above on Recreation.gov and make a reservation, because without this reservation, you won't be allowed in during the busier months. So thank me later so you don't end up going in line, driving all the way out without having a reservation in hand.
Worth it? Probably best weekend ever?
Yeah. $7,480 feet.
All right, folks, we are here.
Yep.
Almost to our park entrance. 7,000 feet. Let's begin our ride from the mile-high plains of Denver to the top of Trail Ridge Road at over 12,000 feet. High enough to experience some mild altitude sickness and a chance to throw some snowballs in summer.
Oh, in the summertime.
The drive to the main visitor center from downtown Denver takes about 2 hours at about 70 miles total. From the main visitor center to the Trail Ridge Road high point at the Alpine Visitor Center takes another hour. Estimate about an hour and a half to 2 hours depending on traffic and how many stops you plan to do along the way. Fortunately for most people, they come back along the same way, so they're able to backtrack and visit spots when they're on the way back towards Denver. A bit of a fun fact, Trail Ridge Road is the highest through road in North America. Through road meaning it starts in point A and ends in point B. Coming up next, Rainbow Curves Overlook.
We made it here. Show these folks the scenery.
This spectacular stop on Trail Ridge Road takes us to over 10,800 feet. We get a panoramic view of the canyon we just drove up on. We also see where the tree line ends and the Alpine high altitude region of the park begins. We continue driving higher, past the 11,000 feet mark, where no trees exist, and where alpine tundras and snow dominate the scenery.
Very windy here.
Be prepared when you come to the park. It might be sunny in Denver, but up high, it could be windy, about 40 miles an hour of wind, and only about 50 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh, in the summertime.
We're arriving at the Alpine Visitor Center soon. At the highest visitor center in the National Park System, Alpine Visitor Center. Alpine Visitor Center is a great place to stop for some food, souvenirs, and learn about the park from park rangers. Once you warm up from some hot chocolate or some chili, you can go on a 10-minute hike just behind the visitor center, experience some altitude sickness for the novelty, while hiking to a peak offering some spectacular panoramic views of the surrounding mountain range, like the Never Summer Range on the west and the Mummy Range to the north. Great place to get some pictures with friends too. I'm going to mute myself so you can get a sense of how strong the winds are up here at 12,000 feet. Being high up makes you dizzy, the wind makes you get headachy, and the altitude really takes its toll. So let's go down to about 10,000 feet to see the source of the Colorado River and other sites west of the Trail Ridge Road high point.
So we're crossing the Continental Divide right now, Milner Pass.
Around the corner, there's a parking lot where you can pull over and take pictures with your family on the side of the road with the famous Continental Divide sign.
Just past the Continental Divide here. We're on the Atlantic side of the Continental Divide, the eastern half of the U.S. Water flows to the Atlantic, so we're at Milner Pass, 10,000 feet. Heading eastwards, going to climb up to 12,000 feet before going back down to Estes Park for the Stanley Hotel. And we have a great crew here today.
We are just on the side of Highway 34. Pan around for you guys to take a look. Very popular stopover point on the Trail Ridge Road. Once you're at about 8 to 10,000 feet, there's a flat meadow with a big parking lot with access to the Colorado River.
Not bad, I like this elevation. Folks, this is the source of the Colorado River, the mighty Colorado that cuts through the Grand Canyon. We're right here in Rocky Mountain National Park over at 9,500 feet near the Never Summer Range and near Trail Ridge. The water here is really cold. You can see it right here. It's really cold, very fresh. It's crazy that this river here, the headwaters, becomes the mighty Colorado and feeds the American South. It cuts through Canyonlands National Park, it goes through Lake Mead, it goes to Lake Powell, hydroelectricity, and eventually goes to the Gulf of California in Baja California. So we're just west of the Continental Divide, where the water flows in the Pacific on this side and the Atlantic on the other. Now halfway up the mountain. The meadows we were down there with the Colorado River, just down below. These mountains are up to 12,000 feet high. The Colorado Rocky Mountain highs. At elevation, got Trail Ridge Road and the lava cliffs over there, where we were coming from, down there. There's an airliner going to Denver, probably.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
All right.
Well, folks, it's been fun riding along through Rocky Mountain National Park. We're going to head back east towards Denver and stop by the famous city of Estes Park to see the Overlook Hotel. But before that, let's recap what we saw and tell you why Rocky Mountain National Park is totally worth visiting. First of all, it's only a 2-hour drive northwest of Denver. You'll see some cool towns along the way, but most importantly, most of the sites are along the main road, Trail Ridge Road, the highest paved through road in North America, which will include seeing the Continental Divide, the Alpine Visitor Center, the highest visitor center in the national park system. There's a little bit of everything for everybody here at Rocky Mountain National Park. For those seeking a more immersive experience, I recommend checking out Fall River Road, a graded gravel road providing another way to get up to the Alpine Visitor Center. Also consider getting another reservation to the Bear Lake portion of the park. Although not as high in elevation, there are countless trailheads for access to the backcountry. If you find this video helpful, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. And if you're interested in bonus destinations nearby, keep watching for a few more minutes for some bonus content.
Glad we got to see the Overlook Hotel, The Shining. We can get some tea or something. Overlook Hotel. Let me close the door.
Stanley Hotel.
Stanley Hotel. The Overlook.
Yeah, neighbors.
This place is haunted.
Totally haunted. Wow.
Totally
we see
haunted.
people.
Opened in 1909, over 110 years ago, Stanley Hotel was one of the finest luxury hotels of the West. It is famous for being the setting of The Shining by Stephen King, where the hotel was called the Overlook. This was probably one of the most famous horror movies of all time. Besides that, the hotel includes a restaurant, spa, and bed and breakfast with panoramic views of the surrounding Rockies. It's been a long day and it's time for some dinner in Boulder on the pedestrian Pearl Street Mall. Please like this video if you found it entertaining or helpful. See you again soon on the road for our next adventure.